We are going to talk about the short-lived abduction of the Tanzanian lady. She was abducted for a few hours. Kindly allow me not to mix this one with the Jinsi abduction. I want to compare this to the abduction of Kizza BCJ, and even to some extent the abduction of the fellow from Turkey. I think as a country, and especially on issues to do with security, we are going the wrong way. We are going the wrong way. We are not supposed to do that. And at the end, there's a saying that goes, east or west, home is best. I'll change it a bit and say east or west, we lose it. We do this, we do that, we lose it. Kenya has gone a long way. I do understand that we have a unique democracy. I'm also not happy about it because every new president comes up with a new political party, apart from the first two. Kibaki came with the NAC. Later he turned it into PNU. Uhuru came with Jubilee. Ruto has come with Kenya Kwanza. And the next president will come. Don't be shocked that today the party that the next president will come to rule with is a party that has not been there. Even today, it's not been created. Or maybe I just go to the registrar of political parties and start my own. And then when the time comes, somebody will buy that political party from me. Somebody will come to buy that political party from me. And that is how Kenya is. It is not good, but we have stability. If you look at Tanzania, when Afro Shirazi and TANU, Tanzania African National Union, joined together in the early 60s and formed a new party called CCM, Chama cha Mapinduzi. It has been there since that time. In Uganda, this is 2025, January. Yeah. The NRA, National Resistance Army or National Resistance Movement, has been ruling Uganda for 39 years. But then, if we go to the truth, is that democracy is better in Kenya than those two countries. In Uganda, it's even dictatorship. I want to talk about the Tanzanian lady being, if I concentrate on issues of neighboring country, I may find it a bit problem. There was an issue that was there in the 80s that was not good in the 80s, but I can say that it is understandable if it was used in the 80s because of the geopolitical environment of the 80s. But the geopolitical environment of today is different from that one of the 80s. 1982, Ochuka ran to Tanzania and he was given political asylum. And then there were some Tanzanians who came to Kenya and were given political asylum. What did they do? Tanzania gave Kenyans Ochuka, and Kenya gave Tanzanians those people who were there. What happened to those people? They died. Now, let us come to today. 40 years later, if somebody from a neighboring country comes to Kenya, there are two types of things that they can do, which cannot please the Kenyan government. If you come from your country and come to Kenya, go to Riverside, arm yourself with the 2 pistols. You should be taken to Makadara or even Kibera. And from there, if you are a woman, you go to Langata. And if you are a man, you go to Kamiti. The other thing is that if your stay in Kenya is bringing tension with a neighboring country, do what Jomo Kenyatta did. Jomo Kenyatta did this. When Idi Amin overthrew Obote, 1972, when Obote had gone to Singapore, when he came back, Kenyatta told Obote that your presence in Kenya is bringing tension with Uganda. So he had to leave Nairobi and go to Dar es Salaam. So what I would ask our president, William Ruto, and our government, GK, if for anything that somebody is doing, like sincerely, BCJ, the way he was operating, it was a genius way. Sending drones, remotely controlled drones, to burn up all those equipment of the Ugandan army, and Ugandan army would be left like a youth wing. What the Kenyan government would have done, and that is what I would have advised if I was still in the intelligence, is that you send him to a minister for immigration and tell him that your activities within this country is not tenable. That is in simple English, but it is called persona non grata. Persona non grata. The immigration department should have declared a person like Kizza Besigye, or even this madam lady, because I am not in the civil servants, I in the civil service or the NIA, so I do not know. But I'm saying, suppose it is true that she was doing what was not tenable for the relationship between Kenya and Tanzania, then why don't you declare a persona non grata and give her 24 hours to leave, or even Besigye? That is how it goes. I want also to tell people that what we do has consequences. Even what I'm doing has consequences. The consequences may even lead to death. Now, when I am dead, let us ask ourselves, whatever I did, like what I'm doing, because somebody may also wish me dead, is it worth it? Our government, whatever it's doing, has consequences. And the way I'm seeing our government doing, the 3 occasions, although to some extent the Turkish fellow is, but makosa ni makosa. You can even see the way Ugandans are talking. You can even see what is being talked in the general court martial. I want to tell my president, who is also our president. I know Uganda has a background of State Research Bureau. Labda hiyo State Research Bureau is still in their mind. Any director of intelligence would have done this. Any director of intelligence would have done this. Kidnap him, abduct him from Riverside, take him to Jinja in Uganda, and then declare that even those discussions they were talking, they should have just said that it was being talked in Jinja. My age mate, we were born in the 60s. I'm 3 weeks older than Obama, 3 months older than Uhuru. So Ruto is my age mate, slightly younger than me. If I do something for you, you should cover for me. Your friends in Kampala should have just, yani, unajua madharau inafikaga kiasi ingine hata huwezi sema. What was so difficult for them to take that tape? You see, it would have been the word. Okay, Mother Karua would have been saying, "Oh, he's supposed to have been in my book launch." Madam, Mrs. BCJ would have said it was in Nairobi, but the Ugandan government would have stuck and said we found him in Jinja. So it would have been their word against their word. But you see, for the NRA, I refuse to call it UPDF. For the NRA to say that they found him with the pistols in Riverside in Nairobi, a place the weather, wanatudharau na wanatuonyesha madharau ile mbaya sana. That is my views. Sorry, I'm talking it out of anger, but it is that way. So it is they are not supposed to say, oh, and somebody was even asking at the court martial that why should you arrest him in Riverside, which is part of Nairobi, and the brigadier was telling him, have you heard Kenyan government complaining? Hiyo ni madharau mbaya sana, ni madharau kama, and we were taught that in the inspector's course. Imagine I'm an inspector and you are a constable, na nije nikusomee mbele ya bibi yako na watoto wako. That is very bad. Uh, saa zingine nakasirika. This is something that should not have done. And I've even said that if Kizza Besigye was performing, if you could not give him, and even Madam, the Tanzanian lady, if they were going against the etiquette and whatever, and the government had proven that, there were two ways. As I've said, one way I've said is that by giving them persona non grata or surrounding them and taking them to Kakuma or Dadaab. That is the only way that is legally. There is a legal way of doing so. So what is happening is that Kenya is being painted in the wrong. Kenya is being painted in the wrong. And lastly, I want to say that I believe that it is reaching an extent. Today we may not know, but 10, 20 years later we may come to know. I'm daring saying that there is a possibility that in Ruto's government, there are some things which are happening, that the left hand may not be knowing what the right hand is doing. And even the left hand may be undermining the right hand and vice versa. Viewers, have a nice time. Thank you.